Hi, we're going to talk with you today about how to make an easy mode video by pretty much making an easy mode video. So if you're ready to learn, hang on with me and we're going to talk about that for the next few minutes. So, a lot of folks are saying this. You're seeing more and more people pop up on YouTube that are small creators, new creators. They're shooting their videos just like this. They're sitting just where they are. I'm in a Panera right now. Got my Panera. This is not sponsored by Panera. Maybe they should. But I'm sitting in a Panera. A lot of people shoot them sitting in their car. I've shot a lot of videos recently driving in my car, but I just heard today that that might not be monetizable in the future. Some people are getting demonetized, or when they get monetized, they can't monetize the videos if it looks like they're driving. YouTube has a safety concern with that, which, in a way makes sense. But to me, it's just me talking to the camera while I'm driving. I'm not messing with the camera. I'm not pushing buttons, but they have to maintain their standards. But right now I'm just sitting here, right? You see light glare all around me. I have my earbuds in. I don't have some fancy microphone. I'm not in the studio. This is the gist of an easy mode video is you are just talking. You sit, as Myron Golden says, turn the camera on. I listened to one of his talks yesterday, and I think he said it 3 or 4 times, getting more and more agitated each time, right? The idea is get on camera, whether it's what this video is, and I'll talk about this in just a moment, the actual setup and what I'm doing, or it's the opposite. It's a faceless video watching you do something. Either you have the camera on a stand or you're using a different camera, but it's just a camera you've got. Use your cell phone camera, your Android, your iPhone, whichever it is that you use, and just shoot your video. Because the thing is, you need content. We provide content. YouTube provides us a platform to load that content. We don't have to pay for a website, don't have to pay for a web developer, studio time, none of that. Just turn the camera on and shoot these easy mode videos. It's called easy mode because it's easy. I pulled my earbuds out. These are actually wired, plugged into the computer. They're cheap and they have a microphone on them that does pretty good on noise. I know there's some people talking near me. There's music above me. I'm not going to be concerned about that. I'm not going to go in here and try to use some audio mixing capability to pull out the side noise. I'm not, oh my gosh, I got a light over here. So how do I move? How do I got to use my camera and I got to shoot from over here. I'm not using multiple cameras, even though my phone is with me and I could brace it on something and maybe have a different side angle. I don't know about you, but sometimes those get a little distracting. And especially if you listen to YouTube in the car like I do, I can't even see the screen half the time. I'm listening to somebody about, like My Wealthy Habits. That's who I got the thing about YouTube not necessarily monetizing videos made while a car is moving. So I listen to a lot of his videos, and he's sitting in his car just talking. You know what the guy looks like? He's a decent enough looking fellow, but that's not, he and I aren't on here because we're supermodels, right? We're not on here because we're fitness superstars and we're buff. We're on YouTube sharing value, what Myron Golden says called community service content, or a lot of us say just give the information away for free. Make your money through AdSense, maybe affiliate links. I don't have a course. Well, I have courses I teach on money, but those are free. So just, an easy mode video is literally just talking to the camera. Another term for it is, I don't know if Kevin just says this from My Wealthy Habits, other people, I've adopted it because I'm the age of a grandfather, right? These are grandfather videos. Whether you're a grandfather, grandmother, parent, young person that has a unique skill that you want to share with people, it's like talking to your grandfather. We used to, hey, I want to learn how to carve or whittle, or I want to just learn about life, and you'd sit down and talk to a grandparent. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just talking to you about YouTube easy mode videos, and that's how you make an easy mode video. I'm not going to stop right now. It'd be a 4.5 minute video. I'm not going to drag it out unnecessarily. I do have something to do at the top of the hour, but I want to talk about things to do in easy mode videos. Yes, I need to be looking at the camera. I'm not looking off like this, but you don't have to stare at it. You don't have to make sure you look perfect. I mean, My hair is okay. It's not all flying around. But like, I have some videos that were shot in the studio, and they'd come over and try to, tamp down this fine flyaway hair I've had all my life, because they were making it for a different purpose. They are a marketing agent. They wanted it to look a certain level of professionalism. But we didn't do a whole lot of takes either. One thing is, I have some experience briefing and teaching and talking on camera. But they would say, hey, we're going to edit out that. Please say this again, but say it this way, or slow down a little bit. But we didn't do like 100 takes there either. But here, you do one take. You just talk. Run out of stuff to talk about. Either talk about YouTube, talk about how your channel's doing, what you're seeing other channels do, or just stop. It does need to be long form content. I guess that's really point number 2 or 3, wherever I'm at. I don't have a script. I don't have a note card on my phone with, A, B, C, do this, do this, do this. It's just talking. It's just sharing the value that I'm learning as I've started making more easy mode videos. So I'm just talking. And some of my videos I'll bring in like a graphic or a chart. If I'm talking, like I just saw some good charts today. I'm doing some research on precious metals. There are a couple videos talking about precious metals. I have some precious metals in my investment mix. I think they're an important component. But but the charts make that better. So I'll probably use the charts in that video. But most of these videos, I mean, unless I wanted to like share 2 or 3 other channels where people are making easy mode videos, then I would possibly, start sharing my screen or stop the video and go to theirs. But I'm sure you see them too in your feed. And, that's exactly what we're talking about, is people that are either just sitting at home, sitting in their office, sitting in their car. I mean, there are a lot of people doing a lot of good content with their phone in a holder on their dash, or stuck in a vent like I have mine when I'm driving, and just talk. Now, again, driving, I'm going to stop doing that because I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to reshoot some of that content. Some of it I'll just leave up. And right now, they're not getting a whole lot of views. So it's not like that's coming to YouTube's attention yet. If I get close to monetization, I am getting closer, but I still have a ways to go. Probably I'll reshoot those and then take down the videos where it's obvious the car's moving and I'm driving. There's some I made. If you go back and look at them, I didn't have a phone holder at the time. The one I had cracked, so I put my phone up against the dash, looking through the steering wheel. Now the good thing is, when I need it for directions, it's right there. I mean, I look down at the speedometer, see my speed, see my directions, kind of like a pilot's display. But at the same time, I'm shooting a video and you can see the back of the steering wheel as I drive, right? Okay, there's super overproduction editing, like I'm talking about, putting music behind this to drown out the other voices, all that stuff. Nah, you don't really need to do that right now. Vice versa, a couple of those videos, you're looking at the backside of my steering wheel half the time, looks pretty bad. And if YouTube is saying don't shoot videos while you're driving, well, you got a steering wheel like this and then like this, it's obvious that you're driving. So, find a place you can do them. It doesn't have to be, that fancy, that neat. I mean, like I said, I've got all this glare around me, tons of glare. If I was really concerned about this, I would probably move to a different spot in the restaurant or do it outside, but then I'd have road noise. I'd have car noise. I'd have people coming and going from the other shops and restaurants near this Panera. So we have to, be cognizant of your surroundings, but don't think, I've got to clean a room out and buy 3 lights and a boom microphone that plugs into this port, and then I've got to have a camera that plugs into that port. I'm using my laptop's camera. I've used my phone for over half my videos recently. So that's what easy mode is. We're not, you don't have to do editing. I mean, if you really screw up and you don't want to shoot the whole video over, I guess you could edit. And if you're already good at editing, but you don't have to be, right? The important thing is get on camera, get some content made, get some content posted, see what's working, uh, discover what your niche is when you talk. I mean, some people just talk about being successful online, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, YouTube. I'm just making sure I say YouTube a lot. So if they catch, hey, he's pushing our competitors, you can do that. I've messed around with growing my Facebook toward their monetization standards. I'm not going to chase that. I'd rather do YouTube and YouTube videos and YouTube content instead of, having to shoot a video just so soft that I could post it as a story. I could post it, maybe shoot a Facebook. I've done this. I've shot a Facebook Live, then saved it, and then turned it into a YouTube video. And it doesn't look, I mean, yes, this is easy mode, but it looks better than that because you can tell I was doing a live. I'm commenting about somebody who checked in, watched about 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't like it, to be honest. I mean, I'm glad she checked it out, but and also I don't have enough followers either on Facebook or YouTube right now for a live to really get much traction. It may be for you, especially if you're already nearing monetization. You have people that are interacting, in your videos, and the same people commenting 4 or 5 videos in a row. You might be able to do a live, but right now I'm not to that. That's a little more complicated than these easy mode videos because we're talking about just getting on, right? Because the saying, the first is the worst. Well, the first 10 might be the worst. The first 20 might be the worst. Or you may have to find your voice and just making videos, 2, 3 a week when you're getting started. Maybe even do a challenge. And a lot of us do that, 5 videos in 5 days, 7 videos in a week. I know some people do 30 videos in a month, and we're about to turn over into April. That'd be one a day. You'd have to either devote a certain amount of time every single day to do that, say 30 minutes to get the video shot, get it uploaded, maybe an hour. Excuse me. See, I burped. I'm not going to edit that out. Hopefully, I only burp once. But, don't try to shoot the moon your first attempt. I mean, I would say do a 5 video challenge, a 10 video challenge, take a step back, see how that felt. Do these easy mode videos. Turn the camera, have an idea. You don't even have to have a script. I usually have an idea. I have a rough outline in my head or on my phone. And then just turn the camera on and go, right? If it's going to be a skill, think through the first 5 or 10 pieces of that skill that you're going to talk about. But don't try to go crazy. Again, easy mode, and yeah, I mean, you might be thinking, okay, I've been baking bread. Like, I'll use sourdough bread because a friend of mine is a really good sourdough bread maker. She had a business making it. She now weaves it into our financial education. So she uses dough and dough as the tag, right? Well, she might want to say, well, I want to shoot a video that takes them all the way from getting starter to a loaf coming out. Well, first off, that's going to be a lot of content. Second, if I've never made sourdough bread, if I'm just now getting starter from her and I've got to bring it back to life and feed it, and it's going to go in the fridge for a week or a pantry for a week or however long, you can tell I don't know much about starter. But if I've got to do that, well, I don't need the soup to nuts how to make sourdough bread. Easy mode videos, she could talk about the history of sourdough, why starter does what it does, and how to get your starter started. Boom, done. Now, she might want to shoot her second video the same day, or she might want to wait, let the starter get going, get a different thing of starter, right? That's maybe already been fed and ready to make bread, whatever you got to do. And then she shoots a video on prepping, final prep of the starter and the first part of mixing it, right? You can do that with any skill. I talk about segmentation in other videos. Every skill has segmented parts. I'm not going to talk about everything I know about YouTube, even as a new, smaller channel, new in being an active YouTuber. I've had this channel forever. I need to go and find out what day I started. I think it was like 11 years ago. But I'm really focusing on the easy mode videos, 2 videos a day after that 5-day challenge or 5 video challenge. So, but what I'm saying is just make the videos, get the videos up there, play around a little bit, play around with where you're shooting the videos. Maybe, do you like this kind of content? Maybe you want to go faceless. Faceless videos are still out there, still available. Some do very well. Some are doing these easy mode. They're getting up to 1,000, 2,000 subscribers, getting monetized. And then they decide, do I want to sink more into my production values? Some people enjoy that. If you find, man, I'm shooting these easy mode videos and I felt unfulfilled, I posted it, it took me 30 minutes, 45 minutes, like John was saying, like other people are saying, but I felt kind of cheated. And I felt like I cheated folks. Well, maybe that's telling you that easy mode is not for you. Maybe you do want to write more dedicated scripts. Maybe you want to spend more time editing. Maybe you do want to do a cut scene where, you have a camera coming from over here and you turn and talk to it. Like, the traditional. I hope you found this valuable. If you do, please hit the subscribe button and like, and, even share this video for me. Well, some people like to have a different angle for that to break it up. In true easy mode, you're only using one camera, one sound source. I have other friends that shoot their audio twice. They might have a microphone like this or a lapel mic, and then they have a boom mic that they're talking into, and then they can see which audio fits better, which picked up better. If they had a little bit of a cold that day, and one mic didn't do as well, whatever. But that's not easy mode. Easy mode is the simpler you can do it, the better. Uh, because I'm talking to my laptop and not my phone, I'm not in my car. I chose to use my earbuds, but you don't have to. If you've got a good microphone, there's not a lot of background noise, then you can just shoot it straight to your phone, straight to your laptop. The beauty of shooting it straight to your phone is now you can do some editing on your phone. I'm not quite there yet, technology wise, but really all you do is you take the video and you save it from your phone, and then you upload it directly into the YouTube app, right? And while it's uploading, you can go in there and type in the title, maybe put in a description. Now, it's not as easy as doing it on a laptop where you can cut and paste, and you can, possibly do a little bit more to your format. But it works, right? And the whole idea of this easy mode is share value. What can you talk about? If somebody was going to come ask for advice and just hang out on the porch talking to you, or hang out around the water cooler at work or the coffee pot, what advice would they ask for you? Well, that's probably your content. Talk to the camera as if you're just talking to a friend, and get content up. Try to get at least 2 a week. I would say more is better, especially initially if you're trying to really get your channel, moving, because you never know, right? I've heard this from my Wealthy Habits. I've heard this from a couple of the other people that are ahead of me in growing their channels, and they said it never was the video I thought, and it was never, it was in a ways. Like some people it's the 7th or 8th or 9th. Some people it's the 25th. Some people it's the 55th. Some people it's the 105th. Well, if you've got to shoot 105 videos, and let's say you're just getting started again, you've got like 8 on your channel. Well, you're going to have to shoot 2 a week to get close. And that's still going to be a year from now. But what might happen is on the way there that you start gaining traction, you start getting more views per video, you start building that watch time. But you have to have the content there. And because YouTube needs content, they're also wanting this easy mode content. Don't think to be a YouTuber, you got to go spend $1,000 on a home studio and have a green screen behind you, deadening lights. No, just shoot the videos, get them posted. So hope you found this helpful. This is my second video this week. Might shoot another one over the weekend. I've got an idea. I do have to do our taxes because I'll be traveling most of the time between now and tax season wrapping up. But so I might have to do our taxes, but I do have that video on precious metals that I'm thinking about. I'm going to keep alternating videos that talk about what I'm doing on YouTube, how I'm trying to get mobilized, probably do an update on monetization for one of my future videos. I'm still penciling in my schedule. I do want to talk about precious metals because right now there's a really good case study on what I want to chat about precious metals. So if you're interested in precious metals or other investing concepts, that's part of the theme of this channel. Talking about YouTube and talking about personal development and playing music are the other things. So that'll be it for now. Again, as always, check out some other videos. Please find something that you like, hit a like. I'll know that means that's content that I should be doing more of. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and good luck growing your YouTube channel.